Hello, 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 hello. Oh my gosh, where's my branding stuff? There it is. Now I can remove the picture. Hey everyone. Sorry to be a couple minutes late. I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to be very vague. Well, we've got a lot of stuff to cover today, but I'm going to start, if you'll allow me, on my stream with a little bit of pontification about betrayal. You know, I'm an extremely loyal person. I am an extremely, extremely loyal person. And I believe that we should always judge people by their actions to us rather than their words. You know, one of the topics that we're going to talk about today is the conservative establishment basically trying to their level best to cancel one of their own. Someone who the base wants. And the leadership of the GOP, or this MAGA leadership, I don't even know exactly how to phrase it, because it's not even like it's like this weird kind of like they are all establishment GOP, but they're also kind of MAGA. It's the weirdest thing in the world. So I don't know exactly how to phrase it other than to call them establishment GOP, though I know that might not be the best thing. But one of the things we're going to spend the most time on today is talking about how they are very literally trying to cancel someone that is the member of the GOP, that is doing really well in Pennsylvania. They're very literally employing the tactics of the woke left. And I find the whole thing to be rather disgusting. AD says, I'm cooking sausage and peppers. Sausage and peppers is delicious, AD. I hope you have a fantastic sandwich. And, you know, I take stuff like this personally, probably more personally than I should, because I am no stranger to betrayal by people that I've supported. One of those people I went out of my way to support for over a year when he couldn't speak for himself. And the reason I was a little bit late on the stream is because he was texting me making excuses about why he stabbed me in the back. So I'm going to say this. I will not be doing walkaway events ever again. I do not support walkaway as an organization. I do not think that it is ever going to come back in the form in which it did. I shilled for them for over a fucking year. And when it came time to launch it again, I was told, we don't want you. And that's because Mike Harlow has been working his level best for the last year and a half to try to get me kicked out of walkaway, and he was successful. And even though I supported Brandon Straka unrelentlessly, that's not a word, relentlessly for over a year, spoke up for him so many times when he couldn't speak up for himself. Past messaging that he wanted out there. He would text me things saying, you know, making it very clear he wanted stuff out there, and I would get it out there for him. But he didn't appreciate any of it. Gave up my life for 6 months to travel to rallies every single week during 2020. Never, ever, ever wavered in my support for him and what he was doing. And he has just made it extraordinarily clear to me that it was not appreciated. It was never appreciated. And that the bad guys, the grifters, really do win. So I wish Walkaway the very best of luck, because I never asked Brandon to choose between me and Mike Harlow. Never asked him to choose. Always behave professionally, because that's what adults actually do. But apparently that was not good enough. And so Brandon has chose the writer who never writes anything, the commentator who never talks about politics. And that's his choice. That's his choice. But I'm going to be very honest about why. I'm going to be very honest that after a year of shilling for him, I was not invited to the first event back. because people are asking me. And I now know why. Because Brandon elected not to. You know, I gave him the benefit of the doubt very briefly. He can sometimes be a little bit flaky. But no more. No more. You know, I always believed Brandon when he said, walk away is a journey, not a destination. I no longer believe that's true. I believe that they are very literally trying to shill people into the conservative movement. Well, karma's a bitch. Karma is a bitch. And when you turn your back on the people who were there to support you without ever being asked, without ever being told thank you, those people tend to walk away. They walk away from being used to shill for your shill organization. So, I'm having some feelings right now. I'm having some feelings. Bet Kathy Barnette's having some feelings too. Bet she's having some very similar feelings. Although she's winning though. She's winning. So, you know, guys, you know, George says, excuses won't work. You've been very clear on that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't abide fucking excuses. I don't abide fucking excuses at all. Not at all. Not at all. And I have more I could say on this too, but that's not what you guys signed on to today. That's not what you want to hear about. We're going to talk about some other stuff. Let me get up our schedule for today. We got 3 things that we're going to cover. First one we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about what's going on at Twitter. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I actually just think that it's kind of an interesting thing with Elon Musk hopefully taking over Twitter in the very near future and the scrambling that the staff is already doing there. And I want to talk about what I think is happening at Twitter, just giving you some insights from an organizational psychology perspective. We're going to do that. I want to talk about this letter that came out yesterday. Apparently, there's like, you know, as if we needed more confirmation, right, that the FBI was targeting parents at school board meetings. And what the heck? Hang on. Oh, God. Turning Point just invited me to something. No, thank you. No more shill conservative organizations. Thank you, Internet. I am done. I've done my time shilling for the conservatives. I am done. AD says shilling, shills, for shell corporations. Yes. Yeah, for real. But what we're going to spend most of our time on today is the fact that, like, GOP Twitter is in an effing war. And I have to admit that I had a lot of fun on Twitter last night watching I felt like I was like in the not even in the middle of it, because like, dude, not my monkeys, not my circus. I am obviously not a Republican, obviously not a conservative. I don't really care what they do. I obviously don't live in Pennsylvania, which is where all this is taking place anyway. And you know, it actually was kind of a thing to watch. So basically what's happening is Rick Grinnell and Sean Hannity and Greg Kelly and even now Trump are trying to cancel our girl, Kathy, in Pennsylvania. Now, I did cover Kathy's story the other day. I actually think I like Kathy a lot. I might not agree with all her positions, but you know what I love about Kathy? She's a fighter. She is a fighter. And the GOP needs more fighters. They do. They need a lot more fighters. And so we're going to talk about what's going on, and we're going to look at people's Twitter timelines. I have so many thoughts on this about how ironic it is that that the GOP is basically turned into like the Democrats. You know, you guys remember like when Bernie Sanders was obviously going to win the primaries, right? He was obviously and totally going to win, and then the Democrats came in and were like, "Nope, we choose Hillary." Or we choose Biden, and they sabotaged Bernie both times. The fucking GOP is now doing this to Kathy Barnette. They are the same party. It is a uniparty. They are the establishment. They are the same on both sides. So we're going to talk about that. But guys, before we get into it, please make sure you mount that like button for me. Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you are not already. This is Live at 5, a stream that I do every day, aptly at 5, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday on my main channel. On Fridays, we typically go over to my second channel, Actively Unwoke. We are still going to have happy hour tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit different. I'm probably going to start it around 2 p.m. because I've got around 5 p.m. tomorrow, when I usually do happy hour on my second channel, Victor and I are going to go shoot guns with friends. Like that's what's happening. I'm just gonna be blunt. We're gonna go shoot guns with friends. So I'm gonna be doing happy hour tomorrow on youtube.com/actively unwoke, but we're gonna start like way early, probably around 2 p.m. ish. I'm gonna go get some mimosa because it's like early happy hour. So you gotta be a little bit, you gotta have like some juice or something, I guess. So we're gonna do that tomorrow. Sassy Saturday, I don't have a plan yet for that. But if you enjoy the work I'm doing and would like to support it and keep it coming, please make sure you join my locals community. Now, you can join my locals for free, and I definitely recommend everyone does. Just head over to kb.locals.com, sign up for free. You can see what's going on in the community. You can confirm that unlike my Carlos community, there's actually stuff going on in my community because I actually have fans and supporters and community members, and they talk about stuff and we bond and we do activities together. There's so much stuff going on in my community. There's actually a writers group meeting tonight, I believe, at 7 p.m. If there's not a writers group meeting, someone in the chat will correct me on that. But you get all sorts of features and awesome stuff when you become a supporter in my locals. You can join for free, but you open up all of the features when you sign up for $5 a month. You can also sign up for $50 a year, which gives you 2 months for free. You can also make a one-time gift, which I greatly, greatly appreciate. If you want to adjust these amounts, if you really want to give, if you're like, Karlyn, I love your work so much, I'm going to give you $20 a month, I would say thank you. And you can do that too if you want. But no matter the amount, and guys, obviously I don't want anyone to go outside of their means because I know times are tough. Inflation and all that really, really sucks. But I really can't do this without supporters in my locals community. I try to give a lot back to my supporters. We're doing a bitchcraft on Saturday at 3 p.m. We do basically it's like an open Zoom where you can come and craft. I will obviously be knitting. You can crochet, you can draw, you can paint, you can clean your gun, you can fold laundry, you can play video games, you can just come and hang out, whatever is clever. We also do 2 community Zoom calls every single week. We do them on Mondays and Wednesdays. My locals members in the chat can tell you how awesome our community Zoom calls are. They are the best. We have a supporter only Discord. We have the Unwoke Army. We have got so much stuff going on in locals. It is amazing. I hope you consider joining today over at kb.locals.com/support. And if you really want to make me happy, you can pick up a copy of my book, Actively Unwoke, the ultimate guide for fighting back against woke insanity in your life, a book that Brandon Strock promised to endorse several months ago and then never did because he can make all the excuses that he wants about how much he appreciates how I supported him for a full fucking year and spoke out and got messages out for him that he wanted out and always had his back and never wavered. And he promised to endorse my book months ago and then never fucking did. But it's okay because lots of people did endorse it. You can read the people who endorsed it down here, to include Chris Rufo, to include Paul Rossi, to include Frank McCormick, to include Eric Matheny, to include Howard Asher, to include Jody Shaw. And now, of course, we're starting to get some amazing reviews on the book because it has been out for a couple of days now. And so people are starting to review it. And I just want to read one of those reviews for you right now, because if you leave a positive 5-star review on my book on Amazon, I may read it on my YouTube channel as a nice big thank you. So a little incentive there. George says, I'll be sewing, but I might be a little late. Totally okay, George. Totally okay. Cider has an excuse. He's not an adult yet, so he doesn't have to join locals yet, but he will when he turns 18, and we're looking forward to that, Cider. So here's a review for the book. This was just the other day from James Jones. I got the Kindle version of Dr. Borisenko's book and thought I'd read it over the next few days. And having just finished it in one sitting, I urge you to get a copy. She gives her background and the story of what caused her to take up the fight. She goes over the issues involved and the techniques the woke use and how to keep your sanity when, as I hope happens, you join the battle. We need more people mocking the woke devil, which he cannot bear. Please get and read this book and follow its advice. I appreciate the review, James. And you can read the other reviews that are going up on Amazon as well for yourself. Again, that's Actively Unwoke, the ultimate guide for fighting back against woke insanity in your life. And if you don't want to get it on Amazon, you can head over to activelyunwoke.com. And I put together some non-Amazon options for you. If you don't want to give Jeff Bezos your money, honey. Incognito says, I unequivocally and happily endorse Miss Karlyn's book. Thank you, Incognito. I appreciate that. All right, guys, let's jump in to more happy topics like Twitter and the FBI and conservative Twitter wars over who's going to be the GOP nominee for Senate. And I want to start here just because apparently in the last week, there was like a leaked plan that Elon Musk, like a leaked presentation deck or something that said Elon Musk is planning to fire up to 1,000 woke staff members at Twitter. I don't know how I missed this, but apparently it happened. Let's read. A leaked pitch deck has revealed that Elon Musk is planning to fire at least 1,000 woke staff members from Twitter when his acquisition of the company is complete. According to the leaked pitch deck, Musk presented to investors this week, which was obtained by the New York Times. Well, we all know how it was obtained by the New York Times. Someone at Twitter fucking leaked it. The tech mogul is planning big changes to the company to boost revenue and user experience. Now, I don't want to read this whole article. I just want to point out to you this picture of, how do we pronounce his name? Paraj? Is that how we pronounce it? Paraj? We're going to go with that. So Paraj is the current CEO of Twitter. He does not like free speech. Paraj is real woke. Real woke. Real woke. And I want to point you to the caption. Twitter's anti-free speech CEO, Paraj, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name, will likely be one of the first to be fired. That's true. That's true. Elon Musk is taking Twitter private. That means he's going to have control over everything. And guess what? When people buy companies or be put in charge of companies, they normally like to pick out their own leadership. The CEO is almost always the first to go. Almost always the first to go. And he damn well knows it. You've always had our backs. Your cult priestess. That Brandon's going to be finding out just how many people do appreciate me. Listen, guys, I never tell people who to support and who not to support, and I'm not going to do that here. If you want to support them, go ahead and support them. I will never support people once they show their true colors of who they really are, and that has been shown to me clearly and completely, and they can go fuck themselves all the way to wherever the hell he's living right now, or to California, or whatever. So here's why I want to talk about this. I saw this article pop up today on The Hill. Oh God, I need to do something with my audio cables because I like to, if I touch them, something goes wonky. I will try not to touch them, guys. Okay, so I saw this article today on The Hill. Two top executives leaving Twitter after Musk deal. Two of Twitter's top leaders announced Thursday they are leaving the company as it prepares for Elon Musk's impending takeover. Kayvon, I don't know how to pronounce Kayvon's last name, Twitter's general manager of consumer product, will be replaced by Jay, who has held the role on an interim basis. Interrupting my paternity leave to share some final Twitter-related news. I'm leaving the company after 7 years, the co-founder of Periscope tweeted. Oh God, hang on. The truth is that this isn't how and when I imagined leaving Twitter. And this wasn't my decision. Paraj asked me to leave after letting me know that he wants to take the team in a different direction. Oh, really? Oh, really? Right before Elon Musk comes in to swoop in to lead Twitter, right before that happens, the current CEO starts firing people because he wants to take the team in a different direction? Okay, maybe if it was just one person, but it's not. Bruce, the company's general manager for revenue, also announced his departure. I wanted to take a moment to thank all the teams and partners I've been lucky enough to work with during the past 5 years. adding in the thread that he too was let go. Here's the reason I wanted to bring this up. I don't want to spend too much time on this. I just want to explain to you guys what is actually happening right now. So Elon Musk last week, someone leaked it. I mean, maybe Elon Musk was actually the one that leaked the investor presentation deck, which would have been a boss move if he did. I actually wouldn't put it past him. But like, so Elon Musk has this investor presentation deck last week where he's saying he's going to fire 1,000 woke staff. And we can all make the assumption that the CEO is on that list. Now, the CEO is now scrambling because the CEO doesn't want to lose his job. And so, what he's doing to try to save his own job, like, this is also a question of loyalty, by the way. Speaking of loyalty for people who have always had your back for over a fucking year, speaking of loyalty, these people worked for Twitter for a while. And now this CEO has so little loyalty to the team that's there, the people that he's worked with for probably years and years and years and years and years, that he is very literally creating sacrificial lambs so that he can try to say when Elon Musk comes in, no, Elon, don't fire me. Look, I already got rid of the bad people. We're already taking the team in a different direction. Don't fire me, Elon, save me. That's exactly what he's doing. That's exactly what he's doing. There is absolutely no reason for Paraj right now to shake up the leadership team at Twitter because it's all going to change anyway. As soon as Elon Musk comes in, they're like all bets are off. He no longer has as much power as he thinks he does. So I want people to be really aware of what's happening. The CEO of Twitter is scrambling right now, trying to do something to save his job in the inevitable firing that is going to occur as soon as Elon Musk takes control. And I think we can all bet that if the CEO is currently flailing about trying to save his job, there are probably many, many, many other people at Twitter that are currently flailing as well. This is a strategic move. He's trying to create scapegoats. That's all it is. George Andre Veloso Nunez says, all I see is a premature case of you can't fire me because I quit. Oh, I don't think Paraj is going to quit. I don't think that's going to happen. Like, well, I suppose it could, but like, if Paraj quits now, or if Elon comes in and Paraj says, and he makes like a statement saying, I just think it's time to move on to new opportunities, we know he was fired. Because he's saying in this article on May 12th, 2022, that he's planning to take the leadership team of Twitter in a different direction. You don't plan to take the leadership team of Twitter in a different direction if you end up quitting a couple weeks or a month later. This is all a CYA move, and I'm living for it. Let them scramble, man. They have created this monster. It is what is going to happen. All right. Moving on to our next short story. Again, short story, but an important story. And one of the reasons I wanted to cover this story is because not only does it illustrate the abuses of the Biden administration and also the raging hypocrisy, while people are literally breaking the law, protesting outside of the homes of Supreme Court judges, and the Biden administration doesn't care about that at all. Not at all. What they do care about is moms at school board meetings. And this one hit close to home for me, to be really honest. I didn't realize how close to home this hit until I saw this tweet from Chris Rufo yesterday. The Biden administration has mobilized FBI counterterrorism resources to investigate parents, including at least one member of Moms for Liberty, for expressing protected political speech at local school board meetings. This is a grave abuse of power. Now, the reason it wasn't as though we didn't know this was happening. We've known this was happening for months. The reason I wanted to talk about this today is because, listen, man, I have my issues with Moms for Liberty. Anyone who watches this channel with any sort of regularity at all knows that I have my issues with Moms for Liberty. And the reason that, Yeah, Jess, we are absolutely on that list. You and I are absolutely on the FBI list. That is 100%. But the reason I have issues with Moms for Liberty is because they advocate for book banning, which I do not agree with in any way. I think book banning is incredibly dangerous. I don't think we should be doing it. I think that even the sex stuff, listen, I don't want it being taught in classes. I don't want it being in schools, but the answer to that is to change the culture. It is to make it so untenable that there would not even be a single teacher who would consider putting that garbage in schools. So I'm not saying I'm in favor of the books, but I am diametrically opposed to book banning. And Moms for Liberty has advanced book banning, and I don't like it. However, at the end of the day, we are all on the same team. This is a lesson that Brandon Strzok and Walkaway have forgotten. Mike Harlow never even knew it because Mike Harlow is only on the team of Mike Harlow. We all have to remember that we are all on the same team. I have the same general goal as Moms for Liberty. I might disagree with their tactics, and we might hash that out in the court of public opinion. But at the end of the day, the FBI's going after Moms for Liberty or a member of Moms for Liberty, I will have their backs every single day. Every single day. Chris Rufo and I are on the same team. Moms for Liberty and I are on the same team. When push comes to shove, we have to help each other. We have to support each other. And we need to put aside our differences to say what the Biden administration is doing is metrically fucked up. Metrically fucked up. Let's read. And I don't think I can make this any bigger, guys. So I do apologize for that. Maybe I can try to make my screen a little bit bigger. Will that work? Oh. No, I want the letter to be bigger. Nope. That's about as big as it's getting, guys. I'm sorry, but I'll promise I will try to read it well. This was sent yesterday to Merrick Garland. Dear Attorney General Garland, in sworn testimony before this committee, you denied that the Department of Justice or its components were using counterterrorism statutes and resources to target parents at school board meetings. We now have evidence that, contrary to your testimony, the Federal Bureau of Investigation has labeled at least dozens of investigations into parents with a threat tag created by the FBI's Counterterrorism Division to assess and track investigations related to school boards. These cases include investigations into parents upset about mask mandates and state elected officials who publicly voiced opposition to vaccine mandates. These investigations included concerned parents are a direct result of and would not have occurred but for your directive to law enforcement to target these categories of people. On October 4th, 2021, in response to the request from the National School Boards Association that the federal government use counterterrorism tools, including the Patriot Act, to target parents at school board meetings, you issued a memorandum directing the FBI to address these threats. The press release accompanying your memorandum highlighted the FBI's National Threat Operations Center to serve as a snitch line for tips about parents at school board meetings. By October 20th, the FBI had operationalized your directive. In an FBI-wide email, the FBI's Counterterrorism Division and Criminal Division announced the creation of a new threat tag, EDU officials, and directed all FBI personnel to apply it to school board-related threats. We have learned from brave whistleblowers at the FBI that the FBI has opened investigations with the EDU officials threat tag in almost every region of the country and related to all types of educational settings. The information we receive shows as a direct result of your directive, federal law enforcement is using counterterrorism resources to investigate protected First Amendment activities. For example, in one investigation begun following your directive, the FBI's Blank Field office interviewed a mom for allegedly telling a local school board, "We're coming for you." The complaint, which came in through the FBI through the National Threat Operations Center snitch line, alleged that the mom was a threat because she belonged to a right-wing group known as Moms for Liberty and because she's a gun owner. When an FBI agent interviewed the mom, she told the agent that she was upset about the school board's mask mandates, and her statement was a warning that her organization would seek to replace the school board members with new members in using the electoral process. Listen. Did any of you guys see Lori Lightfoot's tweet the other day? Lori Lightfoot basically called for insurrection in response to the Roe decision. She literally said, it's a time to take up arms. This is the mayor of effing Chicago. One of the things that happened after January 6th is that people on the right started getting in trouble every single time they said, we're going to fight. We're going to fight. We're going to fight. That became a term that you couldn't even use. I mean, in fact, if you go back and you listen to some of my videos around the time of January 6th, when I was doing the live streams talking about it, like I had to correct myself and say, I don't mean violence. I don't mean violence. I don't mean violence, because that was how it was being portrayed. Every time you said, we're going to fight for what we want. And, you're not going to stop us. All these things that are just, they're just like, it's bluster. That's all it is. It's not a threat of actual violence. But every single time that happened, the people who said it were labeled as violent terrorist insurrectionists. And now Lori Lightfoot in Chicago, in response to the Roe decision, and I'm sure that's far from the only example that I can pull from, but it's just the one I have off the top of my head. Lori Lightfoot in Chicago is literally telling people it's time to take up arms, and that's okay. But a mom for liberty owns guns and goes to a school board meeting and says, what did she say? We are coming for you, which is something that I say all the time, especially in relation to Vermont. And they're getting interviewed by the fucking FBI. This is all because of the Biden administration, and it's all because of Merrick Garland. Let's keep going. The FBI's field office opened an investigation subsequent to your directive into a dad opposed to mask mandates. The complaint came in through the National Threat Operations Center snitch line and alleged the dad fit the profile of an insurrectionist because he rails against the government. Oh God, Jess, we are definitely getting in trouble if all it takes is railing against the government. My God, we better start. Well, I already have my FBI lawyer. I already do, because I had it for January 6th anyway. Let's see, because he rails against the government, believes all conspiracy theories, and has a lot of guns and threatens to use them. When an FBI agent interviewed the complainant admitted that he had no specific information or observations of any crimes or threats. But when they contacted the FBI after learning the Justice Department had a website to just submit tips to the FBI in regards to concerning behavior directed towards school boards. In another case initiated after your directive, the FBI's field office opened an investigation into Republican elected officials over allegations from a state Democratic Party official that the Republicans incited violence by expressing public displeasure with school districts' vaccine mandates. This complaint also came into the FBI through the National Threat Operations Center snitch line. This whistleblower information is startling. You have subjected these moms and dads to the opening of an FBI investigation about them, the establishment of the FBI case file that includes their political views, and the application of a threat tag to their names as a direct result of their exercise of their fundamental constitutional right to speak and advocate for their children. This information is evidence of how the Biden administration is using federal law enforcement, including counterterrorism resources, to investigate concerns parents for protected First Amendment activities. Although FBI agents ultimately and rightly determined that those cases did not implicate federal crime statutes, the agents still exerted their limited time and resources investigating these complaints. This valuable law enforcement time and resources could have been expended on real and pressing threats. So that's fun. And now, of course, the Biden administration wants the Disinformation Governance Board to police your speech on social media and the FBI Counterterrorism Division to police your speech at your local school board. They don't want democracy. They want control. Well, golly gee. What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? So I just want to make everyone aware of that. And again, it's like, I also just want to demonstrate that, again, I may have my differences with Moms for Liberty in regards to tactics. And in fact, I have been accosted and yelled at by members of Moms for Liberty while at a school board meeting. However, you need to put those things aside because there are much bigger problems at play. All right, guys, if you're enjoying the stream so far, please make sure you mount that like button for me. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I do content pretty much every single day of the week. So I actually just today, if you missed the 4-hour-long stream I did the other day talking about the Tim Pool episode with Daryl Davis, which a lot of people asked me to respond to, and I basically did like a 4-hour stream on it. If you're not inclined to watch 4 hours, I've put an unedited 1-hour-long version of me calling out all of the times that Tim Pool and his merry band of men incorrectly defined critical race theory on my channel. I just uploaded it probably about an hour ago. So if you can you can do the too long didn't watch version. It actually has, I was actually really pleased to be able to get a lot of salient information in there. So if you're new to critical race theory or you're confused about what the definition is, it might be a great video to watch, because what you're going to see is Tim Pool and his comrades. Well, I guess I shouldn't call them comrades. I basically call them commies. They're not commies. Tim Pool and his friends are basically trying to define things that they really haven't wrapped their head around yet. And then I come in and I correct their definition. So you're going to get to hear wrong definitions. You're going to get to hear half right definitions. And then you're going to get to hear the correct definition. That's in a video that I posted on the channel about an hour ago. And that'll be available, obviously, after our stream today. All right, guys, let's dig into the real gossip, the real dirt, the real tea, the real juicy stuff. Conservative Twitter is at war. They're at war over a black woman. I just think it's kind of funny. Listen, I like Kathy. I want Kathy to win. I am shocked at what I've seen happening over the past couple days on Twitter. There's so much to talk about. Hang on, let me take a drink. This isn't alcohol, unfortunately. That's for tomorrow. All right. This is an Axios. This is going to give us a good general overview, lay of the land, and then we're actually going to look at some tweets, okay? GOP panics over ultra MAGA Pennsylvania wild card. Influential Republicans in Washington and among the nationwide party elite are having a belated oh shit moment over the previously unimaginable prospect that Kathy Barnette could win their party's nomination for the open Senate seat in Pennsylvania. AD says, as the church lady says, isn't that special? Indeed. Why it matters. In Barnette, who's been soaring in the polls ahead of Tuesday's primary, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell would be dealing with an general election candidate who's been an opposition researcher's dream, potentially endangering the GOP effort to take back the Senate seat. McConnell has been fixated on ensuring the 2022 midterms are not a repeat of 2012 or 2010 cycles. The Kentuckian said Republicans missed a good chance to win the majority, blah, blah, blah. Barnette has surged after releasing a powerful video, It Wasn't a Choice, It Was a Life, in which she movingly talks about her mother, how her mother was raped when she was 11, and yet Barnette is still the living, breathing byproduct of that horrific circumstance. Guys, I covered this video the other day on my channel. I posted it, I think, I want to say Sunday or Monday. It was a video basically about how, like, if the GOP really wants to reduce abortion, then what they need to do is tell more stories like Kathy Barnette's. Like, she's legit. She is authentic. She may not say things I like all the time, and I want to be clear about this. I have seen some of the things that they're pulling out of Kathy's history. I don't like all of them, but that's not the point. That's not the point. Actually, you know what? Let's just jump into it. I want to start. No. Oh no, did I lose my Rick Grinnell thing? No, here's Rick Grinnell. Okay, I want to start with Rick Grinnell. Rick Grinnell has lost his damn mind. Like, his behavior on Twitter yesterday, I guess over the past few days, I didn't notice it until yesterday. His behavior on Twitter is absurd. Let's just go through. This is Rick Grinnell's timeline starting on May 10th, so 2 days ago. Let's just go through Rick Grinnell's main timeline, not even his replies, his main timeline, and see how much he has tweeted in opposition to Kathy Barnette. He is actually, here's a tweet. Rick Grinnell has gone through, or has had, I'm sure he staffed it out, someone go through Kathy's old tweets. And here's one dating back to 2013. They're going through tweets that are up to like 9 or 10 years old to try to discredit Kathy Barnette. Now listen, I am living proof, regardless of what the walkaway campaign might like to think, because the walkaway campaign only really has conservative shills and doesn't actually care about real walkaways at all. I am living proof that people do actually wake up and change their mind. I am living proof that that does actually happen. And so I look at someone who said crazy things 9 years ago on Twitter, and I'm like, "Dude, like, hold my beer. I said way crazier shit than that I would regret today. God, if you went back and looked at some of my old tweets from, like, the before times, the before red pill times, holy shit." And I don't go back and delete things. So you literally can go back and look at my old tweets and say, Karlyn kind of sounded like a leftist. Yes. Yes, I did, because I was, because that's what happens when we evolve in our thinking and we change our minds. Okay? But like the fact that Rick Grinnell is literally going back to 2013 and retweeting it as though it's like the same thing she would say today and saying Kathy Barnette is unfit for office. It's mind-boggling to me that this is happening, but that's not even like the only one. Look at this. Look at this. Here, let me make this a little bit smaller because I can't actually see it. Rick Grinnell is shilling hard for Dr. Oz. So someone in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that the reason that people are so upset about Dr. Oz is because he was blatantly talking about like transitioning 7th graders on his show. And some people don't like that. Jack Posobiec definitely doesn't like that. Jack Posobiec is squarely in the Kathy Barnette camp. But because Jack Posobiec and his friends have created such a ruckus over this, like Mike Cernovich was tweeting about Kathy Barnette, I think Will Chamberlain's tweeting about it, like the real kind of like MAGA stuff, go like on like the real MAGA people on Twitter, like the grassroots people, they aren't having this Dr. Oz shit at all. But Rick Grinnell is blatantly shilling for him. Look, I am proud to join President Trump, Ben Carson, Sean Hannity, Rick Perry, Senator Kevin Cramer, Wilbur Ross, to name a few, in supporting Dr. Oz. Like, they're going off about this stuff. Look at this. Look at this. Hang on. He's got some other stuff too. Oh God, he's retweeting Kathy Barnette saying BLM defund the police. Again, I don't know what this was in reference to. Doesn't seem to be available now. Who really knows? Honestly, I don't care. I don't care if Kathy has said questionable things. It's not the effing point. George Andre Veloso Nunez says, you've been saying it for a while. The woke are not exclusively on the left. Just another proof of it. Yes. One more piece of evidence that I was in fact right. He's retweeting Kathy Barnette here from 2015, retweeting her again from 2016. This was the grossest thing in the world. This video is so awful. Actually, let's just take a quick watch of this video. This video is Rick Grinnell looking desperate. I mean effing desperate to endorse Dr. Oz. Hang on, let me bring it up. I need to bring it up in a different browser because YouTube, like StreamYard, won't let me share the audio if it's in the other browser. Okay, hang on. What I want you to watch in this video is the absolute desperation of Rick Grinnell in order to support Dr. Oz. Listen.
Hi, this is Rick Grinnell with my friend Dr. Oz. I'm here in Pennsylvania to support Dr. Oz, and I hope that you will too. I know what Washington is like. I know that you've got to have fresh voices to absolutely go after the swamp. I've taken on the swamp, and I know this guy is going to take on the swamp. Send him to Washington and let's drain it.
Remember, President Trump said it as an announcement. Smart, tough, and we'll never let you down. I commit that to you and Rick as well. God bless you.
Look at that face. Look at Rick Grinnell. Hang on. Look at fucking Rick Grinnell. That is the fakest smile I have ever seen in my life. I genuinely believe that Rick Grinnell hates Dr. Oz. I absolutely believe that he hates him and cannot stand him. And he's right now doing Trump's bidding. Trump is like worried that he's going to look like an idiot because he endorsed Dr. Oz, and then Dr. Oz is going to lose to this like upstart. And then Trump is going to be like, he's going to feel like his grips on power are fading away. And he was like, Rick, you need to go take care of this situation. Then Rick Grinnell went and did it. You could see that is not a genuine smile. That is not genuine. He does not want to be there. I maintain that position. Let's go back over to Rick Grinnell's tweets because I genuinely think, guys, you know how I keep saying that Twitter makes people insane? I really genuinely think that in this case, Twitter has made Rick Grinnell insane. I do. Because we're not even going to look at his replies because, look, he's responding to people like J.D. Rucker. He has been trying to... J.D. Rucker has a whole bunch of followers. He has over 105,000 followers. He does a lot of media. He's a good dude. Like, J.D. Rucker has been giving Rick Grinnell so much shit about this, and Rick Grinnell is actually arguing with him on Twitter, like saying, J.D. Rucker, wake up. Don't call people you disagree with despicable. I call out intolerance wherever I see it. Rick Grinnell is actually trying to make it out to seem that Kathy Barnette is like a hateful, intolerant bigot. I'm sorry, what? He's tagging people in his tweets to make sure look at this. He put out, this is another thing we have to look at. Hang on. He tweeted yesterday this chopped up smear video for Kathy Barnette. Like, okay, so hang on, I gotta get the other screen up. This video has smear written all over it. What you're gonna see is Rick Grinnell tweeting a video in which Kathy Barnette is it's overtly edited to be having things taken out of context. Let's just watch. You guys can tell me what you think. Let's just watch.
Dismantling privilege and classism in America today.
The reason for so much unrest in the Black community is because of white racism. Black Americans feel disenfranchised. Systemic racism, specifically among police officers. I recognize that there are inequalities still throughout our country. I have the blood of slaves coursing through my veins. White racism, white racism. Blessings. Bye-bye.
That had smear written all over it. Rick Grinnell is the former fucking DNI. He should not be tweeting stuff like that. That was crazy. It's like, what the hell, dude? Like, there's no context. It's just jump cut, jump cut, jump cut, jump cut, jump cut. You have no idea all the other stuff that she said. Come on. And then look, he's like tagging everyone. Look, he's like tagging people in it. He's like arguing with random people. Like, this woman's like, dude, you need to stop, Rick. Stop. And he's like, you don't even live in Pennsylvania. Just watch the damn video. Like, oh my God. She wants to ban a religion. No, she doesn't want to ban a religion. Like, he's actually arguing with people in their responses. Nuts. But it doesn't stop there. Look. Then he gets into a fight with Allie Beth effing Stuckey. And listen, you guys know, I am in no way, shape, a fan of Allie Beth Stuckey. I think she's awful. But Rick Grinnell is actually not wrong about her. And I also just love that they're fighting. I like that Rick Grinnell is fighting with Allie Beth Stuckey. Look at this. So he's got this screenshot where Allie Beth is like, you could argue that he was one of the pioneers of normalizing the chemical castration of boys. She's talking about Dr. Oz. Rick Grinnell retweets that in reply to her. Look, he's replying to her and arguing with her. And he's talking about himself in the third person, which I only talk about myself in the third person when I'm pissed off about something. If someone says, Karlyn, you said that you were going to ban anyone who disagreed with you, and I would say something like, Karlyn has never actually said that before in her life, so I only talk about myself in the third person when I'm annoyed at something, and Rick Grinnell is talking about himself in the third person. I'm not saying we're the same person or anything, we have different motives, but he's saying, Rick Grinnell said that you were reckless and radical because of this disgusting tweet about Dr. Oz. How dare you, Allie Beth? And they kept going. They kept going back and forth. So Rick Grinnell's quote tweeting her there, you are unserious and superficial. Just because you don't agree with someone doesn't make them a radical Democrat. Incognito says, Oz forgoing TS clearance to keep top secret clearance to keep Turkish citizenship. Yeah, that's sketchy as hell, man. Oz is sketchy. I do not support Oz at all. They're still noting. They're still going. Allie Beth is saying, Dr. Oz is such an embarrassing hill to die on. Oh, well, all the best to you, Rick. And then Rick says, noted. You attack Donald Trump's candidates. It's like, you can almost hear, like, how dare you attack Donald Trump, Allie Beth? How dare you disagree with our great and glorious leader, MAGA King Trump? I like Rick Grinnell, too. I actually like Rick Grinnell. I do. I think he's a really smart dude. But this is just so insane. And it keeps going. It's got they got a picture of Kathy with Anthony Scaramucci. Like, who even knows the context of this? Who even knows the context? They're trying to smear her that way. They're trying to say that she wants to like cancel all followers of Islam. Like she will drag all Republicans down. She's got more things there. Like he's retweeting random people who are disagreeing with him. This is all about like, oh, and here we go. Here is the real issue. She will lose the general. Here's what's going on. Conservatives are so effing, not conservatives. I shouldn't say conservative. In this case, I'm going to do the thing that conservatives always want me to do, and I'm going to take that back. I am not saying this about the base. I'm saying this about the establishment GOP leadership. The establishment GOP leadership is quite literally telling the base to vote for a rhino because voting for a rhino is the only possible way for them to win the general election. Let's just all wrap our heads around that for a moment. After all this talk of primary rhinos, primary rhinos, primary rhinos, primary rhinos, primary rhinos, primary rhinos, primary rhinos for the last 2 fucking years. After all this talk, the establishment GOP leadership, Rick Grinnell, Sean Hannity, Greg Kelly, all Donald effing Trump himself, they are very literally telling people, no, you have to vote for the rhino. You have to vote for the rhino. If you don't vote for the rhino, we won't win. Oh my God. It is nuts. Like, I wanted Kathy to win already, and now this just makes me want Kathy to win more. Kathy is gonna pull this out. We need to all be donating money to Kathy. Kathy needs to win. Kathy is on the verge of giving the establishment GOP the much needed ass kicking that they so rightfully deserve. It's amazing. And if you go into the Rick Grinnell's replies on any of these things, you're going to see the entire MAGA base is like, no, Rick, no, you are wrong. No, we don't want Oz. We want Kathy. It just keeps going and going. Listen, it really makes you wonder. And then Rick's like, do you want to ban religions in America? He's literally accusing random people on Twitter of wanting to ban religions in America. And it just keeps going. Look at all this. This is all about Kathy Barnette, guys. All of it. And this isn't even his replies. His replies are even more tragic. So that's how Rick Grinnell's doing. Rick Grinnell's having some feelings. Let's look at, oh, here's another thing. Okay, so Jack Posobiec. Jack Posobiec is totally in Kathy's corner. Actually, let me pull up, is this Jack Posobiec's Twitter? Yes. So Jack Posobiec has been, because Rick Grinnell has started this all-out war, Jack Posobiec is coming in the other direction. And Jack Posobiec is like totally pro Kathy. And he's like retweeting all this stuff. So Hannity came out against Kathy. We're going to watch Hannity's video on Kathy in a second. Hannity is a big part of the Oz campaign, made a ton of phone calls on his behalf. Does he think we don't know what happened? Like, so Paso is going after Sean Hannity. Actually, you know what? Let's watch these since we're talking about Sean Hannity. Not that one. Not that one. This one. Let's watch this real quick. Hang on, I'll pull it up in the other browser. This is Sean Hannity last night going off on his show trying to cancel Kathy Barnette. They really are trying to cancel her, guys. This is the most bizarre thing. Let's listen to what Sean Hannity had to say last night.
Primary season, she tweeted, there's a lot of tweets, quote, did you see the last presidential debate? Trump was horrid. Followed up that with, Trump is just as liberal as Democratic leaders we currently have in office. Morality matters, and Trump does not rank high in it. She also wrote, Trump is good for beers and barbecue, not as a president, and claimed that Trump's moral character is questionable. And by the way, she even tweeted this about me. And there's me.
Oh, says, cry harder, Sean.
Glenn
cry
Beck,
harder.
Actually, Glenn Beck, why does Hannity support unprincipled Donald Trump? And it gets worse. More resurfaced tweets are even more disturbing. One from her Twitter account in 2016 reads, quote, don't we get it? Obama is a Muslim. And there are lots of these tweets. From another 2013, she says, please pray for my babies and me. We're about to board the plane to California, and there's a homosexual female. and
Hannity
linking
took the
out to a
dates off of all
Facebook
these.
post.
He's taken the
Moments
dates off of
ago,
all of
one
these
of our producers spoke
to try to make
Kathy
it seem like
Barnette.
they were
She
recent.
claimed
They
she
weren't
cannot
recent.
recall
They
the
were 10
context
fucking
of the
years
tweet
ago.
about Obama or any of the other controversial quotes. And when we asked her about the tweet about boarding the plane, she said to our producer, quote, "I would never say that. Those are not my words." I don't know if she's claiming that her Twitter account was hacked, but it's on her official Twitter account. So with only 6 days left in this campaign, there are serious, real, open questions about the surging Kathy Barnette campaign and where she truly stands on issues.
No,
and
there's no question, Sean. You're just shilling for Dr. Oz. There is no question about where Kathy stands. You are shilling for Oz. I really want all the conservatives to watch what's happening. This is your party turning into the Democrats right before your very eyes. And I'm telling you, conservatives, listen, you and I have a tenuous relationship with conservatives at best, let's be honest. But on this point, conservatives need to find their balls. They need to do everything they can to push Kathy across the finish line, because if they do not, they are going to teach their leadership that is trying to dictate to them what candidate they can vote for and what candidate they support. The conservatives need to stand up to their own leadership. It's time, guys. And you know what? Kathy might have a hill to climb when it comes to the general election. That is all very true. She could lose the general election. However, that's not the point. The point is that you don't want to be told what to do by establishment elites any effing longer. That is the point. If you want Kathy, you vote for Kathy. And if she gets in, God willing, maybe she's a fighter, man. She's a fighter. She's a fighter just like Trump. And if anyone could pull it out, I believe it's Kathy any day over Dr. Oz. Are you kidding me? Let's go back to the other feed. So now we know that Hannity is not to be trusted. I mean, we already knew Hannity wasn't to be trusted anyway, because he literally wears a CIA and FBI pin on his suit. But I want to go back to, oh shit. I want to go back to, I think I just deleted something that I actually wanted up. God dang it. Hang on 1 second. 1 second. Stand by. Guys, here's what I want you to do. I want you to look at my amazing book and think about ordering Actively Unwoke, the ultimate guide for fighting back against woke insanity in your life, while I'm pulling up this other screen that I really actually needed. It's only going to take 1 second, guys. But I do actually need to show you this, and I just accidentally deleted it because sometimes my computer's a little slow. So you guys can all just take a break as I'm finding this tweet that I accidentally just deleted. Here it is. Okay, right here. Found it. Told you it wouldn't take that long. So it's not even just Sean Hannity. It's not even just Rick Grinnell. It is Trump himself. Trump posted this on Truth Social earlier today. Kathy Barnette will never be able to win the general election against the radical Democrats. She has many things in her past which have not been properly explained or vetted, but if she is able to do so, she will have a wonderful future in the Republican Party, and I will be behind her all the way. Dr. Oz is the only one who will be able to easily defeat the crazed lunatic Democrat in Pennsylvania. A vote for anyone else in the primary is a vote against victory in the fall. Trump is literally in on this. And you know what I think is happening? Trump doesn't want his endorsed candidate to lose because he would feel like he is losing power. But I think he's also been fed information by Rick Grinnell, probably, that is telling him that this is the right line to take. This is a bad move on behalf of Trump. This is a bad move. But I do respect that he is also saying something to the effect of, like, if you win, I'll be behind you. I mean, that's like he's tipping his hat. And I bet you, maybe this is wishful thinking, I bet you that if Kathy won, Trump might actually like that. He might actually like that there's finally a fighter in the GOP, like a woman that like follows after his own heart. He might actually appreciate it. Like, let's be honest, man. Trump was pushing birtherism. He was. It's not as though Trump hasn't said crazy shit. Trump is the absolute king. Like, dude, the irony. Trump, the king of tweeting crazy shit that comes back to bite him. The person who was elected to the presidency beyond all expectation that we all had for him. The person who very literally made Twitter to be the platform it was, is now saying you can't vote for someone because they tweeted crazy stuff. It is amazing. You gotta wonder, like, does Trump not recognize game? Like, when he sees it? Kathy Barnette is like the female version of Trump on Twitter. And Trump's like, no, no, no. We can't possibly vote for that. What were we looking at? Okay, so we've got this tweet from Jack Posobiec. So they really did declare like all-out war on Kathy. They're doing text message campaigns to try to cancel Kathy. They got Sean Hannity to complain about Kathy. They've got, that's Trump. They've got Greg Kelly. Greg Kelly from, what is he on, Newsmax, right? Yeah, Newsmax. Greg Kelly has been tweeting a storm about this. Like, he's going after, look at all these tweets from Greg Kelly going after Kathy Barnette. He's having a field day about it. They're sending out text messages campaigns about it. It is absolutely nuts. Wow, I knew Kathy Barnette was shady and weird, but now we know she's a bigot as well. Very sad. This is, dude. The GOP is very literally calling the black woman running for Senate, surging in Pennsylvania, a bigot because the black woman doesn't agree with them. It is actually amazing. The GOP is turning into the Democratic Party before our very eyes. I told you so. I told you this was coming. Karlyn gets another I told you so moment. Don't think I don't revel in all this glory. I told you, I've been telling you guys this was coming for a year. Look at this. This is all Greg Kelly's Twitter feed, all about Kathy Barnette. They are actually trying to cancel her. Like, legitimately. This is a legitimate hit. Let's see. Do I have anything else? No, those are some of my thoughts. But before we get into my thoughts about this, I want to go, we're going to look at Kathy's feed. But let's look at Jack Posobiec's feed, because Jack Posobiec, in addition to being MAGA King Paso, and just look at, you know, Jack Posobiec. Oh, no, he changed it. Dang. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, no. Where the heck did it go? All right. Well, Jack Posobiec. Oh, I was at that event. Jack Posobiec has changed his profile back from MAGA King Paso. That's a shame. But let's just scroll down and we can see some of Paso's. Jack Posobiec tweets way too much. I don't know why this. Hang on. No, dang it. I want to go down and I want to look at some of Jack Posobiec's tweets on this. Sorry, guys. My browser accidentally reloaded. Oh, he's got the MAGA King thing there. Okay, we'll be able to see that. So Jack Posobiec is railing on this. He's getting anti-Barnette texts. Saw people bringing up Kathy Barnette's BLM and defund the police tweet. Here's the video. Here is what she had. Oh, this is the full contextual video that Rick Grinnell was complaining about. Let's see what Kathy actually said when it's put in context and not tweeted in an out of context jump cut video by Rick Grinnell. Let's hear what Kathy actually had to say. And I haven't heard this, so I don't know.
Story of a 1-year-old child who was shot in the stomach in New York while with his mother, with his family at a park, and he died. And I'm listening to the father, I'm listening to the grandmother, and my heart is just broken. Last week we saw, a young child die in Chicago. This is craziness, what we're watching right now. This is craziness that is taking over our nation. We have these thugs, we have these so-called activists, we have these spineless leaders that are playing with people's lives. They are destroying our nation. I am so devastated. This has to stop. This is not right. No one lives matter when you can't take your child to a family picnic. How does that little black boy's life matter? The father said no one has reached out to him. No one is talking to him. He can't get any information from anyone. How is this improving my Black life right now? Defunding the police is stupid, people. Abolishing the police is stupid, people. Black people, do not fall for the okie doke. Do not fall for these white liberals who are coming into our communities and telling us we need to remove law enforcement.
All right. And that is the video. It's 9 minutes long. I don't want to watch the whole thing. I think we get the idea. I think we get the idea that when Rick Grinnell was complaining that Kathy had a tweet in it with the hashtag of BLM and defund the police, and it led to this video, Rick Grinnell took that entirely out of context to make it seem like Kathy Barnette was supporting defund the police when she obviously did not. Rick Grinnell is overtly effing lying to you. He is overtly lying to you. What the fuck has gotten into him? This should really give everyone pause. Let's go back to Jack Posobiec's Twitter feed. I mean, my God. Listen, man, Jack Posobiec, you know, he takes a lot of shit. And he's not like, I don't agree with everything he says, but Jack Posobiec does his job and he's an actual journalist. Like I have full respect that I know that when Jack Posobiec tweets something, he has got the sources and the fucking stones to back it up. Jack Posobiec saying, so this is the jump cut video that we watched. Jack says it's extremely edited. It doesn't even make sense. Just random words with no context. My God. So he's gone on the offense supporting it. Do we need the meme lords to start taking people out of context and making fake videos of them just like they're doing to Kathy Barnette? Look at this. Look at this. General Flynn endorsed Kathy Barnette. Good. Catholic Vote endorsed Kathy Barnette. All sorts of organizations are. LOL at Oz supporters harping on Kathy Barnett's U.S. service records. Your boy was in the Turkish military voting for Erdogan elections. Holy schlit. So they are in an all-out war right now. Actually, Kathy Barnette was on Glenn Beck earlier today, and everyone should watch it because Kathy Barnette basically said end the Fed on Glenn Beck today. Actually, you know what? Let's watch that. Let's watch that. It's relatively recent in my Twitter, so I can find it relatively quickly. Here it is right here. Let's watch this. Kathy Barnette is such a boss, man. Such a boss. Let's hear her from Glenn Beck earlier today. Hang on.
Inflation. So let's talk about some real questions. Inflation. Biden says this is Russia and Putin's inflation. What is this?
Yeah. You know, Milton Friedman, Nobel Prize winning economist, said inflation is always and everywhere a monetary phenomenon, meaning it's the Federal Reserve, right? And now we as a nation are looking at the Federal Reserve to fix what the Federal Reserve broke. But in addition to the Federal Reserve breaking it with the quantitative easing and calling it buying up all of the bonds from the Treasury, calling it transitory inflation when they should have been putting a brake on it. In addition to that, we have the Biden administration and the failed policies of the Democrat Party with not making sure that goods that were on containers were off those containers, but were in the stores on the shelves. Now we have a milk shortage. Now today I wake up to a news article. Biden is closing down more energy plants and pipelines and facilities. So all of those things is the reason why we're here. And just to give you an example of that, agriculture, the number one industry here in Pennsylvania. I talked to a farmer a couple of weeks ago. He said this time last year, they were paying $40,000 just to fertilize 600 acres of corn. Today, he's paying $120,000 just to fertilize the exact same 600 acres of corn. Who do you think going to eat that? It's going to be the American people. This is what they're so afraid of, is that you have someone who is substantive and who can speak about all of the issues beyond the talking points. I didn't become a conservative like Mehmet Oz yesterday. I wasn't living in Connecticut being a fund manager for the Sovereign Wealth Fund of the Communist Party of China like Dave McCormick. I don't have ties to the World Economic Forum. And so now that I'm winning, they're pulling out the long knives, they're highly editing these videos, and they're trying to paint a different picture. Pennsylvanians, keep your head on a swivel. Don't let them take away your one and only chance.
Let me ask you, how you mentioned World Economic Forum. How aware are you of ESG?
I'm a hard no.
Good.
I know McCormick is a yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that.
She is a boss, man. Kathy needs to win. We all need to help and support Kathy as much as we possibly can. All right. I have some thoughts about this, and how I'm going to articulate my thoughts is I'm going to show you my Twitter, because Twitter is my notebook. It just is. Late at night when I'm laying in bed and trying to go to sleep, what I think about is politics, apparently, and then I tweet my thoughts. Some of my best tweets, by the way, come at night. So if you're not following me on Twitter, I'm Dr. Karlyn B on Twitter. Some of my very best tweets start coming probably after 10 o'clock or so. So here's some thoughts I had last night. Number one, the GOP base must double down on Kathy Barnette. Must double down on Kathy Barnette. You guys need to do it. You all need to find your balls. Listen, she may lose the general election. That is true. But if you do not vote Kathy into that position, what you are telling the establishment GOP is that you will accept every single horrible candidate that they try to give you. And don't think for 1 second Rick Grenell is an establishment GOP. I'm sorry, I do like him, but he's also been in the GOP and in the GOP leadership like for effing ever. Forever. For a really long time. Sean Hannity, Greg Kelly, Donald Trump, they don't get to decide who your candidates are. Donald Trump should know this better than anyone else. They don't get to decide. You get to decide. And you, if you like Kathy, vote for Kathy. Get her into the general. She might lose, guys. She might lose. But is that worse than Oz winning and basically being a Democrat? They all know he's a rhino. They all know he is. In fact, oh, that's different. In fact, this is like very literally what I guarantee you, this is all coming out right now because they all have internal polling saying that Kathy Barnette is winning. They all have internal polling saying Kathy is surging. People like Kathy. People don't like Dr. Oz. They see what's happening. They see the writing on the wall, and they're doing everything they can to try to take her out. They are very literally using the same tactics that the Democrats do. You guys cannot allow this to happen. You can't. And this is the one I was looking for. The fact that the GOP is literally telling its base, we want you to vote for this person because he's safe, even though everyone knows he's a Democrat, tells you everything you need to know about what is wrong with the Republican Party. They are now overtly, guys, overtly supporting rhinos. Overtly supporting rhinos. You cannot let them do this to you. You have to vote for Kathy. You have to get behind Kathy. If you don't live in Pennsylvania, donate money to Kathy right now. Or tweet stuff out in support of Kathy. Or tell Rick Grenell to go F himself. Because he is wrong. He is wrong on this one. Kathy needs to win. And then I had this great idea. I just think this is a funny thought experiment, okay? Now, I have since learned, I believe, someone please correct me if I'm wrong, that Pennsylvania has, like, closed primaries. So you have to be, is it true that Pennsylvania has closed primaries? That, like, you have to be a registered Republican to vote in the primary? Here's why I bring this up. Wouldn't this be funny? Let's live in a land in which Democrats can vote in the Republican primary. wouldn't it be funny? And I know that that's not true. We're doing a thought experiment. Wouldn't it be funny if the Democrats mobilized to go vote in the Republican primary for Kathy? Maybe there's still time for Democrats to change their registration. I don't know. But wouldn't it be funny if Democrats mobilized to go change their registration and go vote in the Republican contest for the primary, and they all vote for Kathy? Because this is like a win-win for the Democrats. It would really piss off the GOP, and it would almost ensure the Democrats would actually win in November, because Kathy does have some issues, guys. Let's just face it. But wouldn't that be funny, just to get Kathy over this hurdle, if Democrats actually went to vote in the Republican primary for her? And it would act, and to be really clear, I don't want the Democrats to win. I'm not saying that. But it would be incredible if the Democrats could help serve up the ass-kissing, God. No, wouldn't it be incredible if the Democrats could help serve up the ass-kicking that the GOP so richly deserve? It'd be like a win-win for everyone. It would be a win-win for everyone. I know this is my little fantasy, but I just got really excited about it. And that's all the thoughts I have on that. But I do want to look at Kathy's Twitter. Guys, please make sure you follow her, Kathy for Truth. She's awesome. And she's not letting up. She is not letting up. Look at her, like breaking news. If Sean Hannity wants to claim his show is fair and balanced, then bring me on in studio with Dr. Oz. Let's have a fair and balanced discussion. I also saw that like Jack Posobiec was tweeting that there should be a debate between Kathy and Dr. Oz, like on Tim Pool. That would be epic. Or like Joe Rogan. It would actually be effing epic. That would be amazing on Tim Pool's show. Like, bring Kathy and Dr. Oz onto Tim Pool for a moderated debate. I mean, come on. Kathy said about an hour ago, for years, Republican voters have been told the only way to win general elections is to nominate rhinos. If you nominate a rhino and win the general, you've lost anyway. Look at Romney. The Republican base is tired of being told to suck it up, hold our nose, and vote for rhinos. We need to nominate a candidate who can effectively make the case for our values and prove all kinds of voters why our solution is better. We win on every issue. We must stop running to the left just to win. Actually hold firm in our conservative values and principles. And she's been going all day. I said Kathy was a fighter when I saw that video the other day. And she is proving me correct. She is the right candidate for Pennsylvania. People need to support her, man. I possibly am going to be more disappointed if Kathy doesn't win this primary than I was when Trump didn't win the general. It might be a close heat. I really want Kathy to win this primary. I really, really, really. Well, if Oz wouldn't go on Timcast, then Kathy should just go on Timcast. Man, what a time to be alive. All right, guys, that is all I have to talk about right now. I may be doing a live stream in my locals to talk about some more feelings I have about the great fucking betrayal of 2022 after I shilled for Brandon Straka and walk away for an entire fucking year. And it went thoroughly unappreciated. So I might be going live in my locals to talk some more about that and to work out some feelings, because why not? I've already started talking about it publicly. I will keep things private until there's no reason to keep them private anymore. So I might do that. Oh, okay is making an announcement. Writers Club will be... Okay, I will definitely post the announcement. Yeah, well, no, I won't go... Well, Writers Club doesn't start till 7. I have like half an hour. But Writers Club, for my locals members, Writers Club is going to be taking place on the supporter Discord starting at 7. I will post the link in locals. So that'll be good. And if you would like to join locals and see me complain on the internet, you can actually watch my streams in locals for free. KB, actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to do the stream for free. We're going to do a special member stream. Supporter only. So if you want to see the stream that I'm about to do, where I'm about to spill all the fucking tea in locals, you can head over to kb.locals.com/support and join for $5 a month. You can also join for $50 a year, which gives you 2 months for free. You can also make a one-time gift, whatever is clever for you. And of course, make sure that you also order a copy of my book, Actively Unwoke, the ultimate guide for fighting back against woke insanity in your life. Guys, did you know that if you join my locals as an annual member, not the monthly member, but as an annual member, you are eligible to request a free, customized, autographed bookplate from me, in which I will make an autograph note out to your name and write you a nice message, and it goes right inside your book. It fits perfectly on this here sticker, so it's just like you have an autographed copy of the book. This is available for free to my Locals annual members, and information is posted right at the top of Locals on how to claim that prize. All right, guys, I'm gonna go stream it up in my Locals, because when people stab you in the back, you should always monetize that shit. Never, ever, ever let them get away with it. Always, always, always monetize the haters. And in Mike Harlow's wildest dreams, will he ever be able to give a speech like I do? All right, guys, take care. We'll see you